This thing never likes to load.
That's technology for you.
Pretty much. The only bad part about trying to do this in a different country, too.
Right. We can't even get him to show the games on television here. How are we going to get him to actually run the fantasy game from this country?
Oh shit! What's up, Craig? I didn't even see you in here, man.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm good.
Man, Craig, would have ever expected me and Steez would have came this far, man?
You know what? I am beyond impressed, and that's why I reached out earlier tonight. I can't wait to tell the world about what you guys have done. It's very much along the lines.
Hey guys,
of what James did
do me a
before.
favor. When you get a chance, everybody log out and log back in. I just set. I know it's going to piss some people off. I just set the draft for 56 minutes from now because it was the only time I can do it. They don't do half hours, little things.
Yeah.
So everybody log out, log back in, and let's see if this fixes it.
I'm down to 56 minutes on my end.
How about you guys? Why don't you check and see if the time changed?
Let me give me a second.
Ooh, I got 2 days, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
I can try it again. I can log out again and log
Yeah,
back.
try logging out. If you don't get 55 minutes, log out, log back in, and let's see if that fixes it.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 days, 0 hours, 55 minutes.
It's just weird that it's got it different times for everybody. Like that's the part that irks me off.
Yeah, 2 days, 55 minutes.
It's like the damn thing changes every 10 seconds. That's really, and I don't know how to say it. It's like it says update it, and then I update it, and then it.
Okay, 2 days, 54 minutes.
Here, I got an idea. Everybody log out. Everybody log out.
Out. I went back to 2 days.
If everybody logs out, I think if I log everybody out, so everybody resets, and then I set it, and then everybody logs back in, maybe that'll fix it.
Okay, yeah, I left the app. I didn't reload. I just left the app completely. Well, the good news is that the gentleman that has the family commitment might be able to still join us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't me, was it?
No, it was Tim from Ohio. I hate this thing. I hate this thing. I really freaking hate this thing.
By the way, for all of you who I haven't met yet, good to meet you.
You as well.
You too. You too.
Yeah, my wife would love your cap, Brad. She's a huge Sydney fan.
There we go.
So everybody that doesn't know, that gentleman in there, Gil Griffin, actually wrote a book about footy.
Oh shit, man! I see you a Frio fan back there, man.
Oh yeah, man, I bleed purple.
Yeah, I don't know how well we gonna get along, man. It's West Coast Eagles all day, every day.
What do you call him?
West Coast Eagles.
He's the West Coast.
Oh, man, get this brother out.
Oh man.
Oh, that is funny.
I do have one say hi to Johnny Docker here.
Hey man. You ahead of me right now in the footy department, man. I'm gonna catch up with some stuff.
Of not 5 foot the goatee. What do we make of that?
I liked it.
It seems like if you grow the beard out, your footy skills improve a little bit. Who McGovern or Carlton grew a beard out, and he's been playing good so
Well,
far.
I do hate those COVID haircuts though. Those have got to go.
Bro, we get on live every day and talk about how bad their fades are.
Wait, by the way, where are you guys? I know Lee's in North Carolina. Brad, what about you? Where?
I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, same as Donnie.
Okay.
That's one of my players for the Roosters.
Okay. Cool. Don, what about you? Other Don.
Oh, well,
West Coast Don.
I guess I'm in Augusta, Georgia right now. Well, actually, Grovetown, Georgia. We're right outside Augusta. We started our own footy team, Grovetown Pirates. So
I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back. I'm just going to talk to you online.
Okay, I get it. Jawan the Don. Okay, I used to live in Savannah for a bit.
Yeah. My first wife lives in Augusta. I'm not going back for a visit.
Where are you?
I'm in Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh, okay, I've been through there before.
Yep.
That's where Cedar Point is, right?
Yep. I can see about half the coasters from my front yard.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then Lee, where are you in North Carolina?
A little town called Wilson. It's about 40 minutes to the east of Raleigh.
Okay, because I've got cousins in Charlotte.
Yep.
I
We're a
have-
little ways away from there.
Okay. By the way, I'm in San Francisco.
I've got a daughter going to school in North Carolina.
Callaway.
Yep.
That's the Western Carolina Catamounts.
Yep.
And my alma mater is the East Carolina Pirates. So I'm on the other end of the state, and both colleges are purple.
I got a
Oh,
friend
by the
of mine
way,
who's
Gil.
gonna be going to High Point.
What do you have there? Lee? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
The digital.
What is your book
version
about?
of-
Oh my God, that's really cool. Thank you for your support. Appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
What is your book about, if you don't mind me asking? I know footy,
Yeah, my
but
book is basically about the first born and bred American men and women to play either in the AFL or to play as for the women for in an AFL sanctioned match, because Katie Klatt and Kim Hemingway played in a match actually against each other. Kim was playing for a Sydney team, and Katie was playing for a GWS side. And so the book was released a little bit before Danielle Marshall made the AFLW for Western Bulldogs.
okay.
But I worked on it from about 2012 and through 2016, because it was published in 2016.
Gotcha. How'd you come to support the AFL? Like, how'd you learn about the sport and everything like that?
Well, I imagine I'm a little bit older than you, Baram.
Yeah.
Got a couple more years.
Yeah, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and so in the 80s when ESPN was just starting and they needed to fill time, they'd show old VFL, or they'd show VFL matches. And so one night when my dad and I were coming back from a Mets game, and please don't tell me you're a Braves fan.
Nah.
That's all right. I actually wasn't mad at the Braves for winning the World Series last year. I was actually cheering for them. But anyway, my dad and I were coming back from one of our many nights at Shea Stadium, and I turned on ESPN. It was the summer, and I was really fascinated by what I saw. And it was kind of the time in the 80s when Australiana had really hit the U.S. You had Men at Work, you had Foster's Beer, you
Right.
had Road Warrior, all that stuff sort of coalescing. So anything from Australia I was fascinated with. And when it came time for me to go there for the first time, I went on my own in '99 on a vacation, and I
Okay.
wanted to see live sports, and I worked for a newspaper, and I knew that there was only one live sport I wanted to see. So I looked up the AFL website. My first match I ever saw, I'm proud to say this, I actually debuted the same day at the same place that Adam Goods did.
Oh,
It
wow.
was the SCG.
There we go.
Yeah, SCG.
There we
And
go.
I saw Sydney play Port Adelaide. And then the woman I ended up marrying, we started dating a few weeks later, and some of our first dates were watching footy matches, and she just fell in love with the Swans. But I didn't adopt the Dockers until 4 years later.
Yep. You probably had one of the more interesting stories I've heard so far, and to come to have a book from it, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
And I've made the pilgrimage a few times to Frio. watch training in Fremantle Oval, and it's one of those things when you love your team that much and you just make a lot of exceptions to go and do it. And I also cover AFLW for Footyology.
Oh wow, yeah.
So last we got a quadruple header. First match at 6, last match at midnight.
Yeah, we getting back into the floor of games too, man. That Australian time compared to Georgia, especially on the East Coast, is just crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lee, our girls are in big trouble.
Yeah, we lost 3 of them. Was it to COVID this week?
We lost 3 to COVID, and then remember we've got 4 who are already hurt, so we're playing without 7 of our best 16.
Yeah, and then we lost one of our best after the end of the season anyway. So
that's true because Ashley Sharp and Sabrina Duffy both decided to do other things.
Yeah.
Good on them, but kind of left the team in the lurch.
But that's the nature of AFLW right now, unfortunately. As long as
If somebody can somebody try logging on and see what it pops up? I've got it down to 46 minutes and it's saved.
Okay, hold on.
Let's see if that fixed it.
We got 2 days and 45 minutes.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Pardon
Yeah,
my
I'm at
French,
2
gentlemen.
days.
I studied German. I took German in high school, but ended up in Brazil as an exchange student. So I guess I was supposed to look for old Nazis or something.
I got 2 days and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I got 2 days as well.
You know what we could do? We could just go through and create our own lists and then just email them all to Donnie, and he could go ahead and just draft for everybody then.
I don't know if I
Sure,
have to
you'd love
be
the
able to
extra
sign into everybody. I don't have to sign into everybody's thing. Either that or we have an ultimate. We just let it auto draft everybody and then just have a free for all trading.
By the way, are you guys on Twitter? Okay, do you mind? Do you want anyone to trade some Twitter addresses here?
Yeah, sure. Let me put it in the chat for everybody.
Okay.
Dear Telstra, your footy app sucks.
That's putting it lightly.
Javon, how'd you become a West Coast fan? When did you get the tendency to go for evil?
So my first year watching AFL was last year, and things just kind of fell together. I figured out about AFL first of all by watching UFC fights on YouTube, and it kind of trickled into the top fights in AFL. And then from there, I was like, I got to learn this sport. Like, what is this? People are going crazy. So it went from that to watching the 2018 West Coast Derby. West Australia Derby. And that was a great game. And then West Coast ended up winning the...
Until Andrew Gaff assaulted Andrew Brayshaw.
Yeah, that's what caught my attention the most out that game. I believe it. Shit, the way y'all was playing us last night, it looked like it.
Well, you know what is a really funny thing, you want to know if you noticed this? But when Alex Witherden of West Coast bumped Brayshaw, guess who gave him the hardest WTF look was Andrew Gaff.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
But Gaff knew it.
Gaff looked at him like, dude, what are you doing? And it was just like, God, if that ain't the pot calling kettle black, I don't know what is.
Yeah, man. Oh, go ahead.
From everybody that I've talked to, though, they said that was just so out of character for Andrew Gaff. And again, I don't know, but and that's something he's going to have to, live that down. It's not, we've seen, instances in sports here where somebody that that they take a swing at somebody and you're like, holy cow, didn't expect that from that particular person.
All right.
You know, it's even going back to, for old farts like myself, going back to the day, the Kermit Washington, Rudy Tomjanovich thing, yeah, I don't know if Kermit Washington really meant to do that to him, but
There it is.
yeah.
I got a book for you about that. Did you read John Feinstein's book, The Punch?
Uh-huh.
It's all about that incident. It's
Okay.
one of the best sports books I have ever read.
Okay.
It is called The Punch. It is phenomenal.
I'll look for that one.
Yeah, I'll put it
Okay,
in
so
the chat.
now my screen says draft starts in 41 minutes.
Let me check mine.
So maybe
So
take a
that
look
matches
now.
mine.
Okay, hang on.
I'm still on 2 days.
2 days, 41 minutes.
I went ahead and pulled it up on my phone too, so on the app and on my computer screen it's now saying draft starts in 41 minutes.
Refresh your screens if you don't have 41 minutes. Let's see if maybe that fixes it.
Yeah, mine's still saying 2 days.
I'm trying everything I can, guys.
I hear you.
Like the worst part about it is that you have to plug it in Melbourne time. I'm not shitting you. You have to plug it in to the thing in Melbourne time. So I have to know the translation. So I basically have to put that it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday to get it at 8 o'clock our time. To get it
Right.
8 o'clock my time.
They're trying to Melbourneize all of us.
Pretty much. Well, that was the problem we ran into. Lee, that's the problem we ran into last year with Greg, was that when he set everything, he set it for Perth time, and it actually set for Melbourne time. So that it's
When we arrived for the draft, it had already happened.
well, yeah, because I remember Ross and myself and the kid from Texas, we all were going in to set our pre-draft for that evening, and it said draft starts in 10 minutes. And we were like, I actually DM'd Greg. I was like, hey, dude, just wanted to let you know the draft's gonna go in like 5 minutes, so everybody's gonna get auto drafted except for like 3 of us. So
Shit.
then we all like,
If you guys have the AFL Fantasy app, pull that up and see if it shows any different other than your computer screen. Because I had it saying 2 days, and I looked at my app, and then it said 40 minutes, and then I pulled it up on the computer again, and it said 39 minutes. So
Okay,
take a look at that.
I still have 2 days and 39 minutes. I don't have the app because I'm looking at my computer screen, but I can download it. What's the app?
AFL Fantasy.
AFL
Okay,
Fantasy.
try that. Let me try that. So I remember.
Can you actually do the draft on your phone, or does it have to be through the computer?
No, you can do it on your phone.
Okay, AFL. Okay, AFL Fantasy 2022?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Let me install.
I've just got to let me try it through the actual AFL app, because I'm trying to get into the
Yeah. I'm getting 2 days on my laptop and my phone still.
It's just really weird. Let's see. Oh, we just love technical difficulties.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You and I are pros at them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I've wanted to throw this laptop through the TV, through any kind of window that's close to me. At least 3 or 4
Frequent flyer
times.
program for your computer.
Pretty much.
Okay, unfortunately, my app is showing 2 days, 37 minutes.
Yeah, I'm still fighting with it because I updated it, had it right, and then I changed it to see if I was correct, and it went back to 2 days.
can you see your club and the club logo?
Not sure if you can or not.
Yeah.
I know you can go. I know you can go to your own personal
Yeah.
account.
Well, actually, on the computer,
Okay,
on the
okay.
top.
I don't know about you guys, but my app just kicked to 37 minutes.
Oh, my app just kicked to 36 minutes.
Yeah, my app just kicked back to 2 hours. I'm not hitting refresh on my computer. I'm gonna see if it just keeps on going.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
at
still
this
got 2
this
hours.
point. I got
2 days.
nothing to fucking do at this point. I'm just gonna leave it and see maybe if that helps.
It's weird. My computer is showing 2 days, 36 minutes, but my app is showing 36 minutes.
Yeah, reverse that for me. My computer's showing 36 minutes. My app is showing 2 hours.
I fucking hate computers. My French ladies and gentlemen. I really, I'm not trying to be a bad host, but Jesus.
We had to take classes in the Navy in terms of how to use those words properly. I'm good with what you did.
The only thing I think would help is maybe just starting the league over. I think pretty much everybody's here.
But then the problem is everybody's got to register, and I'm not sure if everybody can get to a computer to re-register.
I got you.
Like we actually ran into the same problem. We ran into the same problem last year. Lee and I were in a league with a couple of Australians, and I don't know if you heard the story, but basically the draft went at 2 a.m. Perth time. So most of the 4 other guys that were Australians that were in the league missed the first draft because he set it at Perth time, but it went through Melbourne time. So it went 4 hours early. It went like 3 hours earlier than it was supposed to. So it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon over here in the States, and myself, Lee, and a couple others, like we literally told her, hey, the draft's already started. So it was kind of really weird.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that was kind of like how that was kind of how last year went. So that's why I've been keeping an eye on it because it keeps changing. Like I don't know what it is, but the days are constant. It's like I've went in one day, changed it, went back. 2 hours later, it kicked back. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, I've set this thing like 50 times, and I've set it each and every time, and I've sat on it and let it stay there, and as soon as I switch to a different page, it changes. It's the most annoying thing ever.
Let me see.
Yeah, so to be completely honest, guys, I'm willing to BS for another 34 minutes, and let's just fucking see if this thing goes through.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I would suggest that probably the best thing to do at this point was what we did last year, which was just kick this can a week, and if it's possible, reconvene next Sunday.
We can. I could set it for the 14th, and we just set it for the same time.
I'm okay with
That's
that.
all right with everybody.
I think it works for me.
Yeah, if that's what's gonna make it work, yeah.
And in the meantime, I could.
Here, I got an idea. Hey, go ahead.
Now, in the meantime, I could go through all the guidelines and the FAQs because I think last year it was reading through all those. It was reading through all of the guidelines and rules and stuff like that in the fine print that we discovered that it drafted on exactly Melbourne time rather than when it was supposed to. So maybe something's going on right now that's causing this thing to kick out. And there's the contact number as well. If you wanted to send contact us to Telstra to tell them that this shit sucks and they need to get it right before next week. That might be one way that maybe we could smooth this over for next week.
Okay, hey, everybody check it. It should say 6 days, 23 hours, and 32 minutes. I literally set it for the same time next week.
Okay, hang on.
That's what I've got.
Yeah.
If everybody has it, we'll ship it back a week.
Yeah, I got that.
Mine says that it's live right now, ready to go. Just kidding.
If it did,
Damn it, Greg.
I was gonna laugh my ass off if you were true.
Craig, I can fucking kill you.
Get in line.
Out to your shithousery.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I love it, guys. That's awesome.
6 days, 23 hours, 31 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what it says.
this is good. Brad, you're good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I got that too.
Here's the only question though. What about the app?
The app, I have the app, and it's got 6 hours, 23 minutes, 31 hours, and 33 seconds. So
Six days for me.
it's the right day. It's the right date for there. I can reach out to everybody. Hey, Don, can you reach out to Steez and let him know that we're going to move the draft back a day, please?
Yeah, no problem.
A week.
Yeah, a week.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of
You're
said one
fine.
thing I meant to.
In the meantime, send an email and ask them what the hell happened and see.
I sent an email saying that the times keep changing, and I haven't got a response. I'm not expecting one until.
Can you tell them that it's something that I advocate with people? I said, we're busting our butts over here trying to get 1% of this country interested in the game over there, which would be 10% of their population. So come on, let's get on the shtick here.
Right.
If we can get 1% of this country interested in this game, I mean, it's they do such a piss poor job of marketing it here.
I 100%
It's just,
agree.
They've blown through an entire AFLW season with not a single game being played here.
Well,
Yeah.
that's more on the TV stations than.
No, I know that, but I mean, if they can't,
That's the hard part.
they can't reach, a consensus or a deal on it. I mean, plus, according to a FANA, they've still not even reached any kind of a deal for the men's comp yet, which means that they're never gonna advertise it. Is the game's gonna show up at 1:20 in the morning and not a soul's gonna know about it? Let's be honest, we may not see. Well, I haven't watched baseball in 2 years, but we may not see baseball this year for quite some time.
Right.
This is something that could definitely fill that void. I mean, that's something I'm looking at doing with some NFL fans from Australia. Is once I get done with all my preview episodes, is kind of have like a recruitment episode for sports fans here in terms of why they should consider checking out the AFL during our summertime.
Greg, you're exactly right. I was like Gil. I watched the AFL, or when it was the VFL, back when ESPN had it on in the 80s.
Yeah.
And suddenly, I had life. You can't follow it once ESPN loses it. I basically lost touch with it for a long time. It was only when COVID hit and it was the only damn game in town
Right.
that all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I remember this game. This was awesome. Where did this go?
Yeah.
Why could I not find this for 25, 30 years, whatever it was? But I mean, all of a sudden it's the only game on, and it's still fucking cool, just like it was back then.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Fox Soccer Plus had it on in the late '90s, and then that lasted for a few years, and then out for a while. What you could watch was the website, and then Setanta Sports, a channel from Ireland, had it in 2009 for a bit. Then that dropped. Then ESPN3 picked it up and then dropped it. And then I still think the best way to watch it is through the Watch AFL app.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean the really cool thing is, hey, it's Fox Footy 24/7, 365.
Right.
And it doesn't cut away when the winning team sings the song.
Right.
And you see the whole thing, and they have the draft, they've got AFLW, they've got Brownlow medal, they've got everything you could possibly imagine. I'm wondering how it is I even leave the house.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or
leave the
with
closet.
Fox Footy on 24/7.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of my favorite things that my wife and I do is watch Bounce after.
Yes.
I like Bounce a
Yes.
lot.
That is incredible.
Yeah, turn it up. I mean, I love Bounce.
I've not been able to.
Got it up.
I have not been able to convince my wife to watch any footy at all. She became a baseball fan after we got married. she thought Grady Sizemore was cute, so she became a Grady Sizemore fan. So
Well, there you go. You
I
can't sell on young guys with short shorts.
I
That's what
tried
that is.
I tried that. I went and found a couple websites that had the clubs training out on the beach and their budgie smugglers, and I sent her links to those. I thought I could get her to sit down. There you go. Jade Romira in a Speedo. I mean, I'm sorry.
I saw that.
I'll put my hand up. The guy's handsome as hell. I'm not afraid to say that. It didn't work at all. So yeah, I've not been able to convince her to watch any of it yet. So
But what you're saying though, I can't get away with that with AFLW because those girls are young enough to be my daughters. So
yeah, you're right. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I'm part of a supporter group for our local soccer team here, and they're 4th division, so we're a really tight-knit group amongst the supporters. And I told them about the footy club that I play for and coach with me and Donnie. And so last year I actually, for a couple of the post-game get-togethers, we would go to a bar and just relax and hang out with some of the players and all that. And then I would tell them, hey, put it on FS2, put it on FS1. And usually around that time at night they would have a footy game on.
Well, you know, Gil, you're. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Actually,
He's been fighting some internet issues, so he might do this occasionally.
not even.
Anybody else know the lyrics to Slipknot? Spit it out.
Slipknot from Iowa, which is even more interesting.
Exactly.
So, well, gentlemen, at least hope.
You know, I was gonna say, you know, Gil, you're absolutely right. You know, the Watch AFL app is the way to go.
yeah.
But you know, getting the novice to plunk down $150 to do that is probably not going to happen. So you know, having the games on FS1, FS2 just to get their toe in the door.
Yeah.
Is kind of a big deal. But you know, FS. I think if they just would even put a crawl on the bottom of the screen and saying, "Hey, that this game's going to be happening," they don't even do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen there, and I think it does such a, you know, it shortchanges a lot of people who I think would absolutely love the game if they saw it.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, if the AFL and the AFLW had the sense to do Auskick during our summer and get all the kids who, before gridiron starts and before basketball and all that, you've got kids who are out of school for the summer, have an internship where one or two of them get to come to Australia and try it out. I mean, they don't even think of that. I mean, that would be something that a lot of people might really be into.
This is something that I've been on the Roosters about, that I've really kind of irked off, is that we got a lot of guys that are late that don't want to put the effort in. I said, guys, we got to try to get into elementary schools. I said, if we get into elementary schools, and I threw this idea out there, I said, I know it's going to cost the club a little bit of money, but you'd be surprised how much this would work, is print out 100 t-shirts that are in kid sizes, okay? Kid sizes. Do a local clinic and hand those shirts out, because you'd be surprised if some of those kids wear those shirts, then they go home to their parents, Mom, Dad, I got to play Australian rules football. And then you never know, if you could get them the schedule, they could come to a game. They come to a game, who knows, maybe they've got older siblings that aren't going to play college basketball, aren't going to play some college sport. Boom, you've got instant recruitment, and you can teach them to get into it at a younger age. Like, I would say, if you can, Juwan, if you can in Groveton, if you can get into an elementary school and do a cheap clinic or a free clinic, do it, because you'd be surprised how quickly that can actually change. Like, I know Washington, the DC Eagles,
Yes, they do.
have a legitimate Auskick program where they've got like 100, they've got kids all the time that they're trying to teach the sport to. And I said, they're starting generations early that you can get 7, 8-year-old that can play it, and boom, I know it's 10 years, but in 10 years, you could grow 50, 60, 70, 80 kids.
Yeah.
You could have a full entire team in a generation that, once most of your players that are playing now are retired, boom, you've got a whole new squad, and they've been playing it since they were 7, 8 years old. So I'm like, I know it's weird and it may take time, But for me, that's an option I think we should, especially for us here. It's like kids love sports here, especially in the state of Iowa. I said I would take the time out of work, go to an elementary school gym class and teach this game, because you'd be surprised how many kids you kick a footy and they're like, whoa.
Donnie,
So-
I even got the Golden Gate Roos and the Iron Maidens. I teach high school, by the way, and I got them to come out a couple of years ago, right before COVID, to my ninth graders, and it's incredible. I'm the assistant coach of our baseball team. Our starting second baseman kicked 6 goals in a scratch match, and there was a girl that was so good taking marks that one of the Iron Maidens said, "Hey, you should come out and try out with us." So yeah, absolutely, they love it once you start talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a TV angle here. I have seen roller derby on ESPN3.
I've seen World Championship tag.
What about the spelling bee?
The spelling bee. Some of these things that they can put on ESPN Plus right now. Is there any reason why the USAFL couldn't get some of the U.S. version of footy games broadcast, especially some of the quality? I saw the U.S. versus Ireland cricket match. Now, I have basically fallen down at the feet of cricket over the last 2 years, but I don't think I've seen a more frustrating broadcast to watch than that U.S. versus Ireland cricket match down in Florida that they had as the qualifier for the World Cup. That was frustrating to watch, because it just shows that even though now the U.S. can, possibly qualify for a World Cup, they look terrible. The TV production was just terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you can get that on ESPN Plus, why can't you at least get USAFL games on there? Or if not that, Flow Sports has got grades of other kinds of sports that they could introduce. There's no reason why one of those platforms couldn't get footy on. Maybe not the AFL version, because obviously AFL is looking for a lot more coin than the U.S. broadcasters are looking to pay for it. They really need to be looking to just get the exposure piece of it, but I really think that they think that Americans should pay up for their product, and I guess to a certain degree I can understand that sentimentality, but you got to get people interested first, and they're just not.
Well, we did have the 2018 USAFL tournament on ESPN3.
Yeah, and ESPN3 is not the same. It's not the same though, because the only bad part about them going to ESPN Plus is that it kind of screwed us. ESPN3 for the longest time was great because it was free. You didn't have to worry about it. You could get a lot of oddball sports. You could get rugby. You could get Aussie rules. Ever since they went to ESPN Plus, ESPN3 is basically non-existent. So that's kind of the issue we ran into. But another thing that I've noticed, and I think all of us have done it before, is we're all on YouTube. I said, if you get a chance and you see somebody, like one of my favorite things to do, and I've started doing this a lot, is I type in the search bar AFL reactions. And I find Americans that are reacting to this, and I'm reaching out to them in the comments section. Because you'd be surprised.
I do that too.
They're like, oh my God, there's a league in the state? And I'm like, I'm sending them the USAFL, the website. I'm saying, hey, there should be a team close to you. If there isn't, there should be. I said, let us know. I said, we're always trying to make new teams. I said, there's always teams coming in. I mean, look at what the Don's done in Groveton. I mean, that's incredible what they've done. I mean, I thought North Texas was impressive. What you guys have done, honestly, round of applause to you guys.
Thank you,
guys
appreciate
have done
it.
something incredible. I mean, you literally sparked a small suburb town into a footy team. So my hats off to you, sir. That is incredible.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work. And that's the one thing that I love about the USAFL is like we're all trying to help each other. Like I know, North Texas, it's great to see the Birmingham Bush Rangers. We're trying to help them grow. You guys down at the Pirates, like for me, that's one of those. It's like I think all of the clubs got to work together. We can't be adversarial because the sport's not going to grow if we're trying to keep teams from. We need to get as many teams as possible. I've stated to Brad, my ultimate dream for us here in the Roosters is to help get a team in Omaha, to get a team in Cedar Rapids, or to get a team in
Iowa City.
In Dubuque, Iowa City. Because if we have more footy teams in the area, even if we could combine for the Des Moines Roosters being an Iowa team, it would make us a better footy. It would make us a better footy side. I've said we
100%.
need to recruit colleges. I said we've got Simpson, we've got Drake, we've got Grandview, all in the area, which are collegiate athletes that we could pilfer. But unfortunately, we got to find ins, and it's not always easy to get ins with athletic directors. Now, I have a few connections with Grandview, which is a smaller school but has a pretty damn good athletic program. So I'm hoping here in the next couple of weeks that I can maybe reach out to that contact, say, hey, if you've got senior athletes, I'd love to have a chat with them about seeing if they'd be interested in a local sport here in the area, just to see if we could get a few nibbles, because you could get a few college athletes right out of college. I mean, that's gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sport, even in Australia, didn't start on a national level. It was waffle, it was sandful, it was VFL, all these different sub, competitions going on in different states. You really, if you have 8 or 9, if that's the idea, get an Iowa Footy League where you've got 8 teams, and get the people of Iowa excited about it.
Right.
Then the people in Indiana or Kansas or the neighboring states, they've got this. They're playing Australian rules football in Iowa, and they're having their big championship, and it grows organically. That's kind of how the roller derby phenomenon kind of came back into 05, 06, 07. They started with just a few teams and had their own championships. Basically created real rules based on the fake sport that they had, and they grew to a point where they had. I think that what eventually became their downfall, more or less, was they got too big and they got too many teams, and it just became disinteresting because the top players were going to a few little places and they would compete amongst themselves, and even though they literally had a flat track derby team in Sydney, they had one in London, they had one in Germany. They were growing these things all around the world, but then it seemed like all of the American just dried up because they didn't really keep their local roots about them. They tried to make it into this international sport when they really didn't have their local roots enough. I mean, Carolina had a good roller derby team, and there were 4 little sister derby leagues that were playing along with them, but all of them just sort of collapsed once it started to go international. It became too expensive for those teams to go here, yonder, and everywhere to play in these tournaments, and they weren't making enough money doing their scratch games to get to some tournament in Chicago or Baltimore. You have to really grow these things from the ground up, and it's slow. It's a slow slog, but it was in Australia as well. AFL wasn't built in a day.
Yeah. For us, at least, I can kind of speak for the Southeast region. We have a problem with, since we're all kind of spread out kind of far, we have a problem with having consistent games all the time. And so me and Khalil, Steez, we actively try to go to Atlanta and Savannah, just the other neighboring towns all the time, just to get a few more people to play. We try to bring as many people from Grovetown as we can each time, because that's something that kind of stood out to us when we started playing. Luckily, we have Kraz down here in Georgia, so Kraz kind of came out and showed us the game, and we fell in love with it. But we also fell in love with the traveling and meeting other players, going to the pubs and whatnot afterwards. The thing about the USAFL that I really fell in love with was the community, bro. Everybody's just, like you said, everybody's just trying to help the sport grow. Everybody's like-minded. It's just the exposure to it. You got to get people exposed, and that's the things I see a problem with in the USAFL. There's not a lot of exposure. The social media presence isn't there as much. It's a lot of things to improve on, even with simple stuff like cameras, recording games, recording practices. There's a lot of stuff that the USAFL can improve on to make it more appealing to outside people that don't know. Because a lot of people that we talk to, we try to get into a sport, they're like, no, I don't want to play that. There's too physical. It's tackling. And Craig will tell you, me and Khalil, we was like this at first too. Like, we don't want nobody climbing on our back to catch no specky. So
Later, Craig. Hey, we'll see you next week.
Okay, guys.
Didn't interrupt you.
Yeah,
See
no
you next
problem.
week. I'll send a Zoom out for next week. So.
I'm gonna take off too. I've got something I gotta do. But let me ask you a question for next week. How much time should we allot? A couple of hours? Is it longer?
A couple
than that?
hours. Each pick takes a minute in between. Now, the people that are on live, if they pick earlier than a minute, it'll move to the pick. But every auto draft will take the full minute. I don't know why it does that.
Is there a way to change it to where if it auto drafts, it can just do it automatically?
I can double check it, but I don't. I think that might be a premium thing, and I'm not spending $5 on cheap. Like
Definitely not after the crap that happened.
it's like you gotta buy $5 to make it a premium, so it's kind of a pain. So
Yeah.
and then the draft is it. I mean, you guys can look at it now since it's full. The draft order is an S, so it's gonna go 1 to 12, then 12 to 1, 1 to 12. So that's how you. So then you want to keep track of where your picks are. You should be able to look at that in the thing, so you know where your picks are, so on and so forth. So
Yeah, I got it's right here. All my picks.
yeah, I wrote down mine too. So alrighty.
Okay.
all right.
Hey,
Well, listen.
cheers, Gil.
Yeah.
Nice
All right, man.
Nice to meet everybody that
You
I
too.
didn't meet before. So, Juwan and Brad, good to meet you, and Lee, good to finally put a face with a name and a voice.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right.
Yeah,
Let's
great.
see.
Cool. Hey, Gil, we'll see you later in the week.
Got it. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. So, all right, guys, I'll leave it up to you if you guys want to sit here and chit chat some more. We can.
How much are on?
I'm trying to keep trying on Iowa. They're only up 2 right now, so they're not
Hey,
playing.
the women won the Big Ten, man.
I watched that. That was a hell of a game. I felt bad for Caitlin Clark because that one little guard was getting a little annoying because she was always in the cylinder. And then the wrestling team. I know Marinelli won his championship.
Who are they going up against today?
They're in the Big Ten title wrestling.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then the national, all 10 weight classes they qualified their wrestlers. So
Yeah, I'm
all
trying to
10
keep track of.
going to
I'm trying to keep
nationals,
track of basketball and wrestling because now that MLS has started back up, I've been like knee deep in that, and now that the Menace are starting up soon, I've been like trying to get in amongst everything with that. So I'm trying to do my best to keep track of all that stuff. But luckily, that's what I have.
It's not easy. Well, it's not easy, and I ran a Twitter account for it. I was like, literally, the wrestling matches were in the consolations and a couple of the finals while the girls' match was going. So I'm like trying to tweet I'm trying to tweet so many things. My fingers were starting to hurt there for a while. So,
Right.
And then now I got the Iowa. I turned it on because it was like I knew it started at 6:30. I'm just been kind of half eyeing it since I'm fucking with this thing. So, right.
Yep.
Hey, you guys stay cool. We'll see you next week. I set it for the same time that it was supposed to be this week, so it'll be 8 Eastern, so on and so forth. So cool.
Sounds good. I'm gonna head out too, man. It was nice seeing everybody. See y'all next. See y'all next
Hey,
week.
tell the Steez, see if he can get on next week.
All right, for sure. I'll make sure he does. All right, y'all.
Hey, and if you guys ever want me to hop on for one of your live casts, I know Ross and I are doing the GWS Sydney game this year. So if you want to join up for that one, let us know.
All right, cool. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought I'd let you know, Brad. Ross wants to do the first game of the year with GWS in Sydney.
And that's
All right, y'all in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the fantasy going, but it will be next week, same time. If y'all are up, I know it's tough for the Aussie people, but shit, that gives us a little time to talk about it, man. Who y'all think I should go for? What y'all think I should do? I am pick 5, and like he said, it's a serpentine draft. So if y'all still here, let me know in the comments how y'all think I should go about the draft, man. First draft, so really don't know, man. Shit, but we'll be live for game tonight. Gold Coast. Who are they playing? Probably getting their ass whooped. Damn, y'all can't even see me, bro. I'm about to get off this shit. I know I'm just talking. Shenny versus Cats tonight, 3:40 a.m. Man, I'll see y'all for that. All right, y'all.